Hey guys, thanks for the click and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make this thickness gauge. You're going to use this gauge to quickly determine how high to prop up your material whenever you engrave items from the base of your Glowforge, because your material thickness is thicker than 1/2 inch. Whenever you engrave anything that is thicker than 1/2 inch, you cannot engrave it from the top surface of the crumb tray. You have to remove the crumb tray, place your material on the base of the Glowforge, and then prop it up until it falls in a 1/2 inch engrave zone. I made a video about 6 months ago. It's called How to Engrave Thicker Materials from the Base of Your Glowforge. That video goes into the details of how and why. I'm going to post the link to that video in the description below. Today's video is just to show you how quickly you can calculate that height. And once that height is calculated using this gauge, it's always right. No guessing whatsoever. It's always correct and it's fast. And I'm going to show you a quick example. And in the second part of this video, I'm going to show you using Adobe Illustrator how to design your own thickness gauge using 2 measurements of your crumb tray. So with that said, guys, let's go ahead and get this video started. And I hope when this video is over that you're able to cut one of these out on your own Glowforge. It's going to make your life a lot easier when engraving from the base of the Glowforge. Let's get this video started. Okay, let's take a closer look at this thickness gauge. As you can see, there's a lot of information packed into this little gauge. First of all, this gauge is freestanding, which allows you to have both hands free for measuring. So let's go ahead and start from the bottom. On the bottom part of this gauge, you will see the words Glowforge base, and that is to represent the base of the Glowforge when you place this gauge on any flat surface. Now, if you travel up to the first long line, this is the top of the crumb tray surface, and the 1.3425 inches is the distance from the base of the Glowforge to the top surface of the crumb tray. And I'm going to show you how to calculate your crumb tray height by taking 2 easy measurements of your crumb tray. Now, the next area above the crumb tray line is the 1/2 inch engrave zone. This is the area that you will want the top surface of your material that you are going to engrave to fall within. It can fall anywhere in this area, as long as it doesn't fall below or above the 1/2 inch engrave zone. On the left side of this gauge, I have scored tick marks that are 1/8 inch apart. And if you count the tick marks in the engrave zone, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 tick marks, and this makes sense because 4 times 1/8 equals 1/2 inch. Now, these 1/8 inch tick marks are going to be what you use to calculate how high to prop up your material to get it into this 1/2 inch engrave zone. Now, this top line, which is 1.8425 inches from the base, is the maximum thickness you can safely engrave from the base of the Glowforge. This number was calculated by adding the 1.3425 inch crumb tray measurement to the 0.5 inch engrave zone measurement. Now, anything that is above this line indicated by the not sign is going to be too high, and anything below the crumb tray line is too low. So just keep it between the engrave zone. Okay, let's get started with this demonstration. I found a piece of oak in the garage that I want to engrave on. So the first question I ask is, how thick is it? Well, do I need to get a tape measure? Do I need to get a ruler? Well, the answer is no. And the reason it's no is because you have your thickness gauge. You can use this gauge to measure the thickness of your material. All you have to do is use this section of the tool. You simply hook the gauge onto the top surface of your material. And by looking at the 1/2 inch engrave zone, you know that the material is thicker than 1/2 inch. In fact, it measures out to be 6/8 of an inch, which is 3/4 of an inch. Now let me show you how quick and easy it is to calculate how high to prop up your material into the 1/2 inch engrave zone. Now place your material on a flat surface, then get the thickness gauge and place the thickness gauge right next to the material. Now locate where the material surface lines up with the thickness gauge. Now find the first tick mark above that line and start counting until you get to the crumb tray line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have now calculated how high to prop up your material. Since these tick marks are an 1/8 inch each, find 5 pieces of 1/8 inch material and stack them on top of each other. Now find another 5 pieces of 1/8 inch material and stack those together on top of each other. Now when you place your material back on top of these stacks, you have now propped up the material that it will fall in the engrave zone. So let's place our thickness gauge up against the material and let's take a measurement. And as you can see, the top surface of the material now falls in the engrave zone. And like I said before, it doesn't matter where in the engrave zone that it falls. So if you wanted to, you could actually take the material off and add another 1/8 inch piece to one side, and then add another 1/8 inch piece to the other side. And when you place your material back on the stacks, you can see that it now falls higher into the engrave zone. In fact, it falls right in the middle of the engrave zone. So using either 6 1/8 inch pieces or 5 1/8 inch pieces, both will work and put you in the engrave zone. No more guessing. It's fast and quick and pretty darn easy. Now all you have to do is place your calculated scrap piece count on the base of the Glowforge and place your material to engrave on top of them. Since it now falls in the engrave zone, you can simply do a set focus and start your engrave job. Okay guys, the first thing you need to do to make your own thickness gauge is to take your crumb tray out and place it on a flat surface. Once the crumb tray is out, you're going to take 2 simple measurements of your crumb tray. Using those 2 measurements, you will be able to calculate the distance from the base of the Glowforge to the top surface of the crumb tray. It's really pretty simple. So the first measurement you are going to take is from the top lip of the crumb tray to the bottom base of the crumb tray. So let's take the first measurement. Grab your calipers, making sure to zero them out first. Now open up the jaw and place the top jaw on the top lip of the crumb tray. Now push the bottom jaw up to the bottom surface of the crumb tray, making sure to avoid the feet on the bottom of the crumb tray. My first measurement came out to be 1.482 inches. Now your measurement may vary a little bit from my measurement, but that's okay. Now for the second measurement, let's look at the top of the crumb tray. The second measurement is going to be from the top lip shown here to the top surface of the honeycomb surface. So basically, I'm measuring the height of the lip. So let's grab our calipers, and this time I'm going to use the other end of the caliper where you see a flat bar that goes in and out. Now stand the end of the calipers perpendicular on top of the crumb tray lip. Then open up the jaw until the flat bar makes contact with the honeycomb surface. And this will give you your second measurement. My measurement was 0.1395 inches. And remember, it's okay if your measurement is slightly different than my measurement. So now I'll take my first measurement, which was 1.4820 inches, and I'll get my second measurement, which was 0.1395 inches. So now all I have to do is subtract the 0.1395 inches from the 1.4820 inches, and that will leave us with 1.3425 inches. And that is the distance from the base of the Glowforge to the top surface of the crumb tray. See, I told you it was easy. And this is the only measurement that you will need to design your gauge custom to your crumb tray. So please click on my next video to watch part 2. I will show you how I designed my own custom gauge for my Glowforge, and you'll be able to make your custom gauge as well. See you there.